The following episode of the Maui Chamber of Commerce's Business Matters was originally broadcast on October 31st, 2023.
It's time now for Business Matters, brought to you by Mokulele Airlines. Now here's your host, Pam Tumpop.
Good morning, Pam. How are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, Gary. How are you?
I'm very good. It's another lovely Maui day here in Wailuku.
It is gorgeous up country as well. Great to hear it. And I'm going to be down there later with you today as we do Cindy Paulus' show.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in ages.
a double shot of Pam today.
A double shot. Well, thank you for opening us up and welcome everybody to Business Matters. This is a program by the Maui Chamber of Commerce. I'm their president, Pamela Timpop, and today we're going to get to speak with Kevin Yim again from Zippy. If you tuned in last week, we were starting to talk a little bit about their relief efforts, and those, are continuing. Zippy's is such an amazing community partner. But we didn't get to talk about, that's because I ran overtime, about the newest expansion in Las Vegas. So it's my great pleasure to welcome Kevin back, and I'd love for you all to hear about their new expansion into Las Vegas. Good morning, Kevin, and how is it in your neck of the woods?
Hey, Pam, how are you doing? It's awesome over here in Oahu. I'm sad I can't actually be over there in Maui with y'all.
Well, we would love to have you here with us all, but I know you're busy over there, and we're so glad to have you on the show again. Thank you so much. We were just talking before the show about the expansion in Las Vegas. Can you tell everybody a little bit about what first took you to Las Vegas and about your amazing opening day?
Sure. As we were looking for opportunities to expand, Las Vegas is one of those opportunities where you go, no duh, everybody calls it the ninth island, right, with all the Hawaii people who live there. So when we were looking for opportunities to expand, that's where we chose. Stuff got in the way. We're a little delayed, but we finally opened on October 10th, or 10/10, at 10:10 a.m.
So, cool.
Yeah, we had about 3,200 people come through on our first day into that one store. So obviously lines were pretty long, but I got to tell you, Las Vegas, they brought their aloha with them. All those local people who wanted their Zippies to reconnect with home, they were just so happy to be there and really showed each other all the aloha they could.
There was a video shown. Jason, he and I were at the Las Vegas Chamber event that they had last week in Oahu. To see them again, they cherish their relationship with Hawaii too, and being the ninth island. And Jason got to show a video, and one of the couples I was really impressed with. I mean, not to mention the aloha spirit, but throughout, everybody was just so cherished. And I'll have you talk about that video. But was a couple who drove from another state to Las Vegas to arrive at 3 a.m. to get in line.
Yeah, our very first family in line was actually from Salt Lake City. They decided the night before hey, you know what? It would be super fun to go to the Zippy's opening. They got in the car and they drove 6 hours from Salt Lake City down there to be the first people in line. Yeah, they got there about 4 o'clock in the morning, and they were they were just so ecstatic to be there.
They were pumped. I mean, the energy on the video of them just talking about how important Zippy's is and why they cherished it. Tell us a little bit about the sentiments people shared with you. What were some of the hot sellers that day that people just had to get their hands on?
Sure. Everyone was just so happy for Zippy's to be open. For so many people, food is a connection to a memory, and in our case, a place. And so when you're eating Zippy's, you're really revisiting home. So for so many people who live outside of Hawaii, when they want to go home, they're seeking out the foods that they knew and ate when they were back here on the islands. And, Zippy's is such a big part of local culture that's where they wanted to be, and that's where they wanted to go. They were just so happy that we were there. And the number one seller for the day, as it is most days in Hawaii as well, the Zip Pack.
Yeah.
The number 2 seller, the Korean fried chicken. And I got to tell you, when people came in, because they were standing in line for a couple hours, people would
Yeah.
come in and say, "Okay, I like 12 zip packs." They were buying for their friends and family. It was fantastic.
We didn't hear that story the other day. That's funny. But you can totally see. I mean, I can
Uh-huh.
totally see that. Because, for those of us from the neighbor island, what do we do when we go to Oahu? Before we had Zippy's on Maui, we would do the same thing. Okay. Maybe not 12,
And
but,
they'd
6.
have to end their order. They'd have to end their order with ordering like 2 dozen apple napples, or maybe take
Oh,
home a
yeah.
Gilbach cake as well. Yeah,
Well,
it was fun.
it is an amazing video. Is there a place where people can see that video? Does it post it on your social media or YouTube?
No, the video that you're talking about was really a PR recap, and unfortunately, because we don't actually own the rights to all that, we can't actually put it up. But
Oh, shucks.
I would say that every single television station in Las Vegas, as well as the newspaper and a number of radio stations, came out to cover the event. As one of the one of the TV reporters said, this has to be the most hyped restaurant opening in all of Las Vegas history.
Well, kudos to you folks, and I'm so glad to hear it. That is really a tremendous accolade to hear, especially with all the, the different celebrity restaurants that open up out there, and that's phenomenal.
It was fun. Definitely fun to be there. And if anybody goes out to Vegas, we're on the southwest side of the city, off of the 215 and Rainbow, if you're familiar with the area. We'll be looking to build new units as well.
I was going to say, so in Las Vegas already at this conference, people were already lobbying for the next location, and I understand you've got a couple lined up that you're thinking about.
Yeah, we're not ready to talk about exactly where they're at, but the very first restaurant that we built there has a central kitchen attached to it. And the purpose of that central kitchen is to feed additional restaurants we'll be opening around the city. Nothing to announce yet, but we're looking at a number of different sites all around Las Vegas.
Yeah, phenomenal. And that was discussed too, the importance of that central kitchen to the food that you produce and having everything you need out there and your expansion, which was amazing. And I just thought it was so funny that you just got one there and they're already lobbying. But the best part was you already had a plan. That there's already there are things that are being explored and the demand was high. At this conference, we had folks from Kauai who were actively lobbying for their island.
Yeah.
They are desperate for a Zippy's as well. But just such a phenomenal feat. Now, how long did it take you folks? I know that there was some delays, and there were some delays that just, in any development, there's always delays and things that happen that can change the dynamics a bit. But how long did it take you from planning to actually getting a store there?
Well, we first announced that we were going to be opening in Las Vegas in the 2018, the end of 2018. And, we were starting in on our plans. We bought the land. We had done the plans. We were about to start grading. And then, what happened at the beginning of 2020, which is when we were supposed to start our construction.
Wow.
And so we had to take a pause for a number of years to make sure that we're refocused on our core business, which is here in Hawaii. When we came back out of that, though, we were stuck behind some really big projects in Las Vegas that everybody basically started up at the same time. So there was a lack of construction workers, a lack of construction materials, and in the end, it took us a lot longer to get open, but we're finally open.
Well, but you're open now, and it was interesting because there was some discussion about your market there in Las Vegas, and whether, because your market is so strong and locally based, whether you would be expanding out. And Jason said, new people will always come in and be attracted, but they're really focused on the local market in the area, and connecting with that Hawaii market, which I thought was fabulous, and people were, of course, applauding at the conference. That you folks have such a strong following within local folks, and clearly with people driving across state lines to get there. was tremendous.
We like to say that Zippy's is Hawaii's third place. There's home, there's work, and there's Zippy's. That's where you go to have your business meetings or dinners with grandma, celebrate your birthdays, anniversaries, and graduations. And we want to be that same thing to the Las Vegas market as well.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Sunday breakfast, yeah. And then I loved hearing, because I understood, as any restaurant often does, you hear about, you start in a new market with a limited menu. So the Korean chicken I thought was one of my favorites, and I thought, of course they started with Korean chicken. I thought that was great too. But second only to the Zip Pack. I mean, that's everybody's favorite. But I understand you'll be expanding over time.
Yeah. So the phased-in menu, every month or so, we'll be introducing another part of the existing Zippy's menu. So when you look at the menu here in Hawaii, there's like 150 menu items.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult to just launch a new restaurant, everything available all the time. You got to train the cooks, you got to train the servers. Everybody needs to know what's going on. So we launched with about what I call the greatest hits menu of Zippy's, Korean fried chicken, Zip Pack. Next week, we're going to add on things like our Zip Min and Simon, the things that take the noodles. And then every month or so, up until February, March of next, we'll be adding something new that you would have seen here in Hawaii on the menu.
Yeah. Well, and you're doing something new here, too. We're going to talk in a little bit about Kukua for Maui month, but you've got a new thing that you're doing called Kukua for Maui Pack. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. The Kukua for Maui Pack is a special that we're offering now through the end of the year and maybe even longer. It's got a Korean fried chicken on there. It's got Korean fried chicken, Portuguese sausage, hot dog, and Spam. $10.95 on Maui, $9.95 on Oahu, and $2 of each Kukua for Maui pack sold will be donated to the Hawaii Community Foundation and earmarked for Maui relief efforts. We started selling this at the beginning of September, and in the first month alone, we made a donation of $30,000 to the HCF, and that's just for 1 month. And so, again, we're looking to go through the end of the year with the Kukua for Maui pack.
Oh, that's tremendous. Thank you so very much. I mean, in the last show we were talking about your tremendous community giving and engagement, and this is such a special help. So we want everybody to go try out, and again, you've got my Korean chicken in there. That Kukua for Maui, not mine, everybody's, but one of the favorites. Kukua for Maui pack, that's fantastic. I'm going to pick some up this weekend. That'll be a lot of fun. And then I wanted to share with everybody, you are sponsoring the food for all of our Made in Maui County Festival volunteers.
Yeah, Made in Maui County Festival. What a fantastic festival. At prior employer, we sponsored that. It was just the most wonderful event to see all the small businesses of Maui get together and to see the creativity and the energy that those business owners bring to Maui County.
Well, we so appreciate your sponsorship and the food donation. This is really tremendous because it takes about 100 volunteers, sometimes more. It takes a village to put on a festival of that magnitude. And we are grateful for all of the volunteers who come out, and we're grateful to Zippy's to feed them with such fabulous food.
Our pleasure.
Because we know that they're just going to love that. That's going to be a special treat. And with the holidays coming up, tell us, do you have any Zippy specials or other things coming around the holidays?
Yeah, up until today, actually, by the end of today, we are selling our Thanksgiving meal packages. It's $30 off if you order by end of day today. It comes with a 10 to 12 pound turkey pre-cooked. All you need to do is reheat it. Mashed potatoes, gravy, sides, so that you can spend more time actually having fun with your family rather than stuck in the kitchen cooking. Then, of course, if you don't want to order the big package for the 10 to 12 people, you can just come on into the store, and we'll have turkey and ham packages available for you to buy inside the restaurant.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Well, I'm glad that you mentioned today's the last day. I think I'll be doing that.
It does. We'll continue to sell a little bit, but the price does go up as we get closer to Thanksgiving.
As it gets closer. Okay, well, good to know. So, folks, today's the day to get your discount to pre-order, and then you just have to drive on in, get it, and heat it up. That's going to be phenomenal for people. That helps in our family, too. Let's just spend more time doing some other, everybody has their own little specialty dish that they like to do, but it's nice to have the staples already made for you.
Exactly.
And then, of course, you have the whole array of tremendous desserts for everybody there, which will be lovely to pick up as well.
Got to pick up a pumpkin pie.
Oh, pumpkin pies! Don't forget your pumpkin pies. And did you have your Napples over there when you opened in Vegas?
Oh yes, couldn't open in Vegas without our Napples. We get a lot of complaints that we did.
Yeah.
So we opened up with that chantilly cake, is dobosh, and we're constantly adding new. Just the same way all of our other menu items on the bakery side, we're adding new things each month as well.
Over time, that's phenomenal. Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that because again, as people were just so excited to come back, they were so happy with everything was there. But all of a sudden, people are going to start going, "Oh yes, and what about this?" And you're putting it back on there as time goes on, and everybody gets trained. And speaking of training people, I can't even imagine, but I'd love for you to tell us, because you've been a long-time employer in the state of Hawaii. How many locations? Well, first of all, how long have you been in business? How many locations do you have? And how many employees do you have now?
Sure. So, 2 weeks ago, on October 17th, we celebrated 57 years of being in business here in the state of Hawaii. So, not too many restaurants make it to the age that we are. We currently have 22 stores in Hawaii, so 20 on Oahu, 1 in Kahului, 1 in Hilo, and then, of course, our 23rd store now in Las Vegas. And right now we employ about 1,400 people throughout all of our locations. But in our 57-year history, we've employed more than 40,000 people in the state of Hawaii.
Wow.
So the likelihood is you probably know somebody who worked for Zippy's at some point in their life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I know Zippy's is such an amazing employer, and I'm always thrilled to talk to your staff. Every time you're in Zippy's and you're talking to the staff, they're so friendly and, of course, just very accommodating, do anything to make your experience wonderful. And it doesn't need a lot of extra help because the food in and of itself is so amazing. But just they're cheerful and they're friendly and serving as quickly as they can. But it makes you feel like, and the food and the comfort part that you talked about for those who came from all across Las Vegas, it's also the staff with the Aloha spirit that makes you feel like you're at home. You have this great food, perfectly cooked, and then you have just wonderful, charming people who are there to greet you and make sure your meal is spectacular. And it makes you feel like you're at home with family and friends.
At Zippy's, we say that our core purpose is really to share aloha. So sharing aloha comes first. And whether that's sharing aloha through the wonderful food that we make or through the service and the sense of aloha that you get from your server, those are two equally important parts of the experience. And, we take that real seriously, again, as that third place. And that means that we're also there to help protect Hawaii's culinary history. When you look at the menu of Zippy's, you're really looking at the history of migration, for example, to Hawaii. And so all of our employees take it to heart that they're representative of this place, of Hawaii.
Yeah, I didn't know. I had never thought about that, about how your menu represents Hawaii's culinary history. But the minute you said that, I think everybody who's listening could probably connect with something on the menu that relates to their history.
Absolutely.
And here in Hawaii, and makes that connection instantly. And boy, what a deep and phenomenal thought that is, that we can just look at that menu and think about, just the generations before and where we've come to. And again, it's funny that Korean chicken is on there, and the mochiko chicken, and just so many different elements. But I just never took that journey. I'll have to next time I go in, I'm gonna have to walk through the menu and try and guess at the dates. Different things might have been put on. When did this era come in, and how?
Yeah, it's not like anybody's intellectualizing Zippies, right? When you go in, you just
no, not at all.
But when you step back and think about it, it really is. You can see, the Portuguese influence, Portuguese.
Yes.
You see Japanese, obviously, Chinese, Filipino, all these things, and where else in the United States can you go to one restaurant and get so many different types of cuisines, obviously kind of fused together here in Hawaii? But
exactly.
We're super unique in the American restaurant scene. Yeah.
It's so true, and it just really hit me with that one comment about, all of our cultures are represented there. So, I guess again, it speaks to the Aloha spirit as the base of what you folks are doing, and sharing with the public and everybody who comes, as well as, this history and this richness from our culture, and that there it says it all right there. That's the thing that makes us all feel like home, and makes us feel like family. It's all right there at Zippy's, and again with all the community service that you do. Kevin, there's so many things you do. I'm sure we could talk for hours, but before we end our segment today, is there anything else that you'd like to share about Zippy's?
We're so proud to be part of the community, and in particular the Maui community. While we made some donations to the American Red Cross, and we're making the donations to the Hawaii Community Foundation with the Kokua for Maui Pack, one of the things, again, that made us just really touched our heart was being able to provide the meals for Lahaina Luna football, both JV and varsity, the band, the cheerleaders, everybody on that very first day when they played against Baldwin. Because to us, yes, we need to take care of the first responders. We need to take care of the crisis that happens. But more importantly, we need to build community. And so small things like feeding a team that's, back on the field for the first time was very heart-touching for us.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I'm sure they were tremendously surprised about, but thrilled with, and it is so important to be a part, and you folks always are. It's that inspiration, that hope, that sense of normalcy, and to just cheer on our youth as they're moving through this. There's going to be there's so many things that are going on in a community after a disaster like this, and as time ticks on, it's important to remember we have to celebrate the little things and the things that we can be happy with, and see that sense of hope, and to see the kids carrying on and getting excited about their game.
Absolutely. And the same way, we also look forward to feeding the volunteers for the Made in Maui County Festival again. Getting our businesses back on their feet and really supporting everybody in the community as we all rebuild together.
Well, it touches our heart because these small businesses are niche manufacturers here in Maui County. I mean, by national standards and even state standards if you're comparing to Oahu. Very small businesses, but pouring their hearts and creativity into locally made products, we always say by local hands and hearts, to share them with others. And this event, whether they were in Lahaina or not in Lahaina, and we have, of course, both, but almost everybody who was a local manufacturer, the participants in our festival, sold to some of the stores in Lahaina. So a vast majority of our vendors have seen impact from the wildfires and are working hard to recover. And you're going to have a phenomenal time for everybody who joins us this Friday or Saturday. Our volunteers are going to be treated to Zippies, and we're super thrilled, and you're going to find great treasures there. So we hope everybody will join us. I just want to say, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us again on the show today. I'm thrilled we got to talk about the new Las Vegas location. I just really, again, from our team at the Maui Chamber of Commerce, and the County of Maui is a huge supporter of the Main of Maui County Festival, as well as Hawaiian Airlines, our title sponsor, and all our sponsors. We want to thank you for supporting our volunteers in this way and having you be such a strong part of the Maine and Maui County Festival, and for all you do for our community. And please know if there's anything we can do for you, where you've also been great members of the Chamber of Commerce, and we are here for you as well.
Thanks so much, Pam. Thanks for having me on. Mahalo.
Thank you. Aloha. You have a wonderful day.
Aloha.
Aloha. We're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, Mokulele Airlines, and then I'm going to share a little bit of information for you about Kukua for Maui Month.
Mokulele Airlines operates the largest commuter airline hub in the country, right here in Kahului. Fly Mokulele from Kahului to Molokai, Lanai, Hana, Waimea, Kona, and now Hilo. Mokulele also operates the only flights between Kapalua and Honolulu. There is never a middle seat on Mokulele, and every seat has a window and aisle. Visit mokuleleairlines.com and take your next flight from the newly renovated Mokulele Terminal.
Welcome back.
All right. Well, we are back, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Kukua for Maui, Shop and Show Aloha Month. This is a collaborative effort led by the County of Maui in partnership with the State of Hawaii, City and County of Honolulu, County of Hawaii, County of Kauai, and various community partners who aim to provide support for Maui's people and businesses as we recover from the wildfires. And we are just so blessed to have statewide partnerships that are helping to make a measurable difference in this time, where people can shop and get involved in showing aloha to help shore up so many businesses that have seen just total devastation in their business or just tremendous loss, and not only in the Lahaina area, but across the islands, as so much economic activity took place out in Lahaina. It actually kicks off with the 10th Annual Hawaiian Airlines Made in Maui County Festival this weekend. Don't miss it. Presented by the Chamber of Commerce and by the County of Maui's Office of Economic Development, along with Hawaiian Airlines as our title sponsor, and many other sponsors. We're celebrating locally made products by local hands and hearts, and helping to stimulate the economy in this way. It is then going to be followed by the 22nd annual Native Hawaiian Convention, which is on November 14th through 17th, put on by the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement. They made a conscious decision to move their convention to Maui, and it's going to feature discussions on cultural and economic development, education, and a focus on Maui's history and future. If you haven't attended one of these amazing conferences, this is going to be a great time for Maui people to register for that event, and it will also be held at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center. Then on November 18th, there is the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival in partnership with Hawaii Tourism Authority. This is a great gourmet event by Humble Market Kitchen, which is Roy Yamaguchi's restaurant, and it's going to be held at the Wailea Beach Resort to contribute to Maui's recovery. Then we have Kukua for Maui at the Hilo Farmers Market on November 18th, where Maui small businesses will be hosted by the County of Hawaii and Hilo Farmers Market, offering a touch of Maui on Hawaii Island. Then Kukua for Maui at the Neil Blaisdell Center on November 19th. This is a collaborative effort with the City and County of Honolulu and community partners, again featuring Maui-based vendors and their products. Then Kukua for Maui in Waikiki on November 20th and 21st, bringing Maui entrepreneurs to showcase their products, art, and more, allowing visitors in Waikiki to support them and support their Maui businesses. And lastly, Small Business Saturday at Kauai Made Craft Fair, November 25th. So up, down, and around the entire month of November and Thanksgiving, there are going to be amazing things. And of course, we will be continuing to promote our Maine and Maui County Festival vendors at Maui-based businesses on Black Friday, Shop Small Saturday, and Cyber Monday. So there are going to be so many different things happening. But Kua for Maui is a great state collaboration, and we want you to find out more. You can also find out a directory of local businesses that can be supported at MauiNuiFirst.com, as well as the Maine in Maui County Festival, and we hope you'll all join us this Friday and Saturday for the first kickoff event. And at that event, we are going to include a phenomenal company that I had the chance of spending a little bit of time with, Micah of Aloha Kuki Creations. We're going to talk about the spelling of that and let Micah explain it. But Aloha Kuki Creations is a family-run, Christian-based business from Maui. The business was started by Micah in 2017. I think I first met him at the Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce, the Maui Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce conference that they held in Wailuku. And with the help of his family, friends, and great mentors, Aloha Kuki was created, and the business has been doing well ever since. So, Gary, do we have Micah on the phone with us?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Good morning, Micah. How are you?
Good morning, Pam. How are you? I'm doing great.
Oh, I'm great as well. So glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It was great to see you in Honolulu filming a segment for the festival talking about Aloha Kuki, and I owe you pictures. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, that was an awesome event.
I was so glad that you could attend. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind Aloha Kuki.
Yeah, so when I started Aloha Kuki, I was basically the thought process was like, what can I use in my family's talent? Basically, just looking around, like, what can we use to like start a business? But yeah, basically our last name, because basically like, how can we create like love, or like how can we create life through our products? So like using our last name, like, which is Alo, A-L-O, and then Ha is like the breath of life, and how can we bring life with our products? And then the Kuki, the Kuki, that was actually through Chef Perry from Mama's Fish House. He saw our name, which was Aloha Creations, and he was like, why don't you change your business to like Aloha Kuki, since you're basically making cookies? So yeah, and that's basically how our name came about.
Oh, it's great. It's a different name, and I love that it's based on your family's last name and the breath of life. And Kuki, Kuki, is just so much fun and different. It really sets you apart.
Yeah, for sure. That was the goal too, because just to make people know that we're a cookie company, because before it was like Aloha Creations, but we had like a wider variety. But now, once we realized that like the cookies were the best sellers, that was like, we just knew we needed to focus on that.
Yeah, so I know sometimes people have asked you about, do you plan on expanding your product line? And tell everybody your answer on that, because I love it.
Yeah, so basically, whenever anybody asks, we're just like, you know what, we do one thing really well, so why not just like stick with that? But we also, once in a while, for like these Made in Maui events, or for these bigger events, we'll bring out some of our products, like the passion orange guava jam, or my mom's sweetbread. Or like, we also sell like our shirts and hats and different things, but at the end of the day, we know that cookies is like our best seller, so we're just sticking with one thing that we know works.
I stick with what I always tell people: stick with what works.
Exactly.
And it's also nice to know, though, that at the festival, people are going to find other specialty products, because the jam is pretty awesome, I must say, as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was actually because we had so many like guavas around our property and like lilikoi, so we're like, why not use this? Because basically you're just paying for the labor, because it is a lot of labor. Yeah. But we're like, how can we use this? So before my grandma passed away, we were just like experimenting, like how to make the jams, like how long to cook it and all these things. And yeah, we ended up coming with it's a good recipe as well. Like it's one we sell out of that every year within normally the first day we sell out. But yeah, it's kind of a seasonal thing because of the fruits and as well, to like find the fruits, pick them, puree them, and everything. So it's definitely a labor of love doing that as well.
Yeah, jam takes a lot of time.
For sure.
And it's a process, yeah. So I'm glad that you took the time to learn it because the jam is delicious.
Thank you so
And
much.
I've often thought about trying to figure something like that out, but it's a lot of work to make jam.
It
And a
definitely
lot of
is, yeah.
love. Yeah. So tell everybody about what makes your cookie different, because it's a very specialized cookie, and tell people where they can find your products.
Yeah, so the cookie recipe actually was from my mom. So during from the time I was like a kid, like elementary, my mom would always she perfected her recipe because I have five brothers and two sisters, so she had seven kids to basically or eight kids, sorry, eight kids to practice the recipe on. And yeah, so you'll see like our cookie is like it's really like it's like a thin and buttery cookie. It's like it's almost like brittle how like thin our cookies are. Um yeah, so basically that's how the recipe was created. And yeah, if people want to buy them on Maui, we have a lot of the local vendors like Pukalani Superette, Island Grocery Depot in Kahului, Takamiya Market. We also have Rodeo General, and then we have Made in Hope Cafe. And yeah, Made in Hope, we've been with them and like Island Grocery and all these vendors from like almost the beginning of our start. And all of these guys are like, they're amazing. And they're really great. And for the people that don't live on Maui, we ship nationwide. We ship the cookies all around. So yeah, you can find it on our website. It's alohacreationsonline.com. We're still we're like in the process of like changing our website, so it's just alohacookie.com, and then we're trying to change it as well so people can buy the cookies directly from online. We're just trying to figure out like how to calculate the shipping and all these different things into the website, but
Yes.
hopefully in 2024 we'll figure that out.
Yeah. Well, I know you will, and I think that is a great way for you folks to also expand, because when you try these cookies, folks, and if there's any visitors listening, and if you haven't gotten to try them yet, you'll want to. So definitely look online. But when you try these cookies, they're addicting. It is. It's buttery. It's thin. Um, it's a different kind of cookie. I always say because they're thin, I can have a couple extra because I just stack them up and consider them as one. But
Exactly. You could eat a whole bag and you won't feel guilty just because exactly what you said, how thin they are.
but it's that thinness that makes it different. I hadn't ever thought about the brittle part of that, but they're thin and just delicious and super yummy. So you'll definitely want to try them, and to know that you can buy them online. Look for Aloha Creations online.com, because and again, I know they'll change the website over time, but and it's hard to calculate. It's hard to figure out calculating for all the different markets I know to figure out
For
your shipping.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know you'll
Exactly.
get there. But this is a great cookie that you're going to want to try, and very unique. I know you've been doing some things with the wildfires. Can you talk a little bit about the fundraiser your company has done for the victims of the wildfires?
Yeah, for sure. So this summer I was actually gone. I was on a pilgrimage and we were in Portugal and people kept asking me like who were on the trip and like, "Oh, how's Maui doing? How's Maui?" And honestly, I didn't realize like the reality on Maui and like how devastating and bad the things were. So once I got back, like after talking to my parents and they gave me the update, and then some of my friends who are firemen and policemen, like they were really telling me because they were on the ground like seeing these things. So once we figured that out, we knew we needed to like do something, like use our business as limited as we are to like, you know what I mean, help to try make some change and like to show like those people that they're loved, you know what I mean? So we using our shirts, we created these Maui Strong t-shirts, and we've been printing them at Royal Hawaiian Shirtworks. They're in Wailuku. We've been printing these shirts and we've been selling them for $25 each, and all of the proceeds that we have made so far, we're donating it like directly to the families. So basically, we've been giving $500 directly to the families because
Nice.
I felt like it was better to give directly to them because, you know, they can feel the love and they just see that it's like, even though it's $500, it just gives them some hope. You know what I mean? And that at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing. And just to show them that, like, yeah, they're loved and there's hope. And so so far we've donated to $100 we've been able to give out. Hopefully soon we're gonna do one more round after the Made in Maui, because we're gonna be taking orders at the Made in Maui festival as well. And after that, we'll probably do another run, and hopefully we can give at least another 1,000 out to the family. But yeah, like with our business, we've always tried to give back and just to help like different missions and different people. Like with Made in Hope, they deal with like the sex trafficking and all these like terrible things that happen in the world. But they've been like, since the time I've met them, it's Peter Selvey and Chris Kanimura. They've turned this business, and like 100% of their things, they're a nonprofit, and they're just, yeah, they're really great people. So we try to help them as much as we can. And then there's some other things in Uganda that we try to do to just help these kids from like an orphanage, because they have like a hard time getting families, because like what happens is a lot with like the adoptions, when they get adopted too young, then some people like take advantage of these kids, and it's a whole nother mess. Like it would take me a long time to explain, but basically, yeah, we just try as much as we can with our limited resources just to bless as many people as we can along the way, because like the people of Maui and like a lot of people around the world have really blessed us. So just to kind of give back.
Oh, I think that's amazing, and it's tremendous that you're helping everybody with the wildfires, but across the globe and on these missions that you're doing. That's outstanding. Really
Yeah,
outstanding.
thank you so much.
You are you're just a dynamo. You're involved in so many things. And you
Yeah.
folks have been a festival vendor for us for a number of years. Can you talk a little bit about sort of the vibe of the Made in Maui County Festival and how the overall experience has been for you folks with Aloha Kuki?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, this will be our third Made in Maui festival that we've done, because I know in between there was COVID, so there was a lot of like cancellations. But yeah, Made in Maui has been really awesome for us, especially the Friday with the buyers preview. Like we've met a lot of our wholesale accounts, and a lot of the condos and hotels that we currently service came from this Made in Maui event. Like it's a really, not only to sell, but it has really been like good for us to like network and just, yeah, find these new accounts. But yeah, it's an awesome event, because like when we started our business, we were just doing the like local, you know, the Fridays, like the first Friday, second Friday, third Friday. We were just doing these events, but really like the Made in Maui is like a whole nother level, because you really see like the community coming together, but also like there's a lot of visitors, that come in from the other islands or even from the mainland. But yeah, it's just a really awesome event, and it's been really good for us.
I'm so glad to hear it. Well, and this year, Hawaiian Airlines is doing a special shuttle for those coming in from the neighbor islands. So if you show your ticket on Saturday, the big festival day, they've got a shuttle from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. take you. You don't even need to rent a car. You just get off at Kahalui Airport onto their shuttle with your boarding pass, and they'll take you straight to the MAC and back when you're done. So hopefully we're going to see a lot more neighbor islanders this year.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome that Hawaiian Airlines is doing that. And yeah, all the sponsors, they've been super great. And Pam, if you can remind me, I'm not too sure what company it was that donated and helped for the the entrance, the fees, the booth fees, like they covered the cost of that. So I'm really grateful to those people who did that for us.
This year, because of the wildfires and because of the devastation to businesses across Maui County, the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, through their what they call their CBED, Community Economic Based Development, granted Maui Chamber of Commerce for our vendors $65,000 to pay for the booth fees of our vendors. So the vendor booth fees were paid for our local manufacturers, which was tremendous. And they were very happy to support our small businesses in that way. So the state has long been a supporter, but this year they, tremendously stepped up and provided that funding to support these.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I know for us and for a lot of people, your first amount of sales is you pay your fees and you pay all these things. So it's really this is a perfect boost to just even before the Made in Maui, just a nice boost for the festival. So yeah, we're really grateful.
Oh, well, we were very happy to have an opportunity to apply and speak to them about it and to receive that for all of our vendors. It was something we wanted to do, but as costs continue to go up each year and
definitely,
and the dynamics change each year, we and some things also went up just because of limited availability with the fires as well. It was interesting to see the dynamics change. So that was a tremendous help that they came through with that. And really supported all of our vendors in such a positive way, and we're grateful to them. And we'll have Lyle from the Department of Business, Economic Development, Tourism. He'll be speaking at the festival. But also he brings each year a major department store from Japan, Hankyu. Department store will again be on island and getting to meet with vendors, and they bring and pick up several products and showcase it at their store every year. So we're thrilled that they're coming back from Japan.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and Micah, you are such an amazing young entrepreneur. If you had one piece of advice that you could give to other young entrepreneurs who are thinking about beginning, starting a business or in their early phase of business, what would you share with them? What advice would you give them?
I think the best thing for a young entrepreneur is really you just have to do it, because there's a lot in the business world. They say you need a business plan, you need all these different steps before you can start the business. You need this capital, you need everything. But really, for me, I had none of that. I was like, you know what? I just need to do this, and really just believe in yourself, have faith. And that's why, for me, for my family, my faith, and I had great mentors that I found along the way. But it wouldn't have mattered if I didn't just go for it and start. And I didn't even know what I was gonna sell when I first started, but along the way, everything will open up. You'll find the right people, you'll find your avenue, because we started off selling artwork at the local markets, and it was my mom who was like, just bring the cookies, just try. And I brought the cookies, and we sold one painting, and then we completely sold out of the cookies. So in those little moments, you find yourself what avenue works, and then
Yeah.
through the school of hard knocks, basically you'll learn like different things. Like this works for me. This might work for a different company, but this doesn't work for us. And yeah, like we figured out we're not gonna make multiple different varieties of cookies. Like our thing is the Aloha cookie. We just do one cookie, but yeah, basically just to do it and just to believe that everything is gonna work out. If you really work hard and like you don't mess around and like like don't let like little successes like make you think you made it yet. Like just to stay humble and like to continue the grind, even if you think you've made it, like you haven't, because you're like you're capable of so much more when you like you just continue to work, just not to get comfortable and just to just believe that you'll make it, basically.
Yeah. Perseverance and hard work, but
Definitely.
that's great advice, and I love that. As you said, you learn along the way and you figure out what works best for you. That's really excellent advice. Well, Micah, I am so thrilled to have you on the show today, and we're thrilled to have you at this year's 10th Annual Hawaiian Airlines Made in Maui County Festival, and excited with all the things going on. Are you also participating in any of the other Kokua for Maui programs?
I'm not currently. I'm not too sure because we have with cookies, we have a crazy holiday schedule, but I'll be in touch with you as well. I'll see you at the festival, and then maybe we can just talk more about it. But yeah, thank you so much for having us on this show. I feel like all these opportunities are awesome. Even being on the Hawaii News Now, like that was such an awesome experience.
Yeah, well, we're so glad to have you on that, and you were a superstar. So thank you for doing that. We love featuring our vendors any way we can as we lead up to this. And thank you, Micah, for being on the show. And
awesome.
to all who joined us today, thank you so much for joining us for Business Matters, sponsored by Mokulele Airlines. I'm Pamela Timpaw, President of the Maui Chamber of Commerce, inviting you to join us again next Tuesday and wishing you blessings and aloha for a beautiful Maui day. Ahuyo.